All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus. Sean Onebar with Lupagus. We're going to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. just recently mutual parting of ways. The Dolphins, should the Vikings sniff around him? What you should sniff around is Minigrown, minigrown.com. Get over there, use that promo code SKOL, buy one, get one. They got a bunch of other offers going as well. Sign up for their newsletter, minigrown.com. Boom, Odell Beckham.
You see that stocking above me right there? I want to wake up Christmas morning, that thing chock full of mini-grown gummies.
Maybe it will.
I hope so. And Odell Beckham Jr., do you hope he'll be a Minnesota Viking?
Well, I mean, there's a few angles to look at this.
Yeah.
He's got to clear waivers.
I don't want to get into it yet.
He's going to clear waivers on Monday. Nobody expects anybody to put a waiver claim in for him wherever he signs, and he's going to sign somewhere. He said, he wants to keep playing somewhere. It's going to be very, 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 very cheap. Money is out of that's not an issue. I just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah, money's not an issue. Let's just talk about Odell Beckham Jr. right now in his career. He's 32 years old. He was with the Miami Dolphins, as you mentioned, mutual parting the ways. He had, 9 catches for 55 yards.
Not bad.
In 9 games. And there was some quarterback issues, and there's also a shit ton of mouths to feed on that Miami offense, so targets can be hard to come by. So not exactly burning up the stat sheet right now is Odell Beckham Jr. at age 32.
Yeah, I mean, Jonnu Smith really became their third receiver behind Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And, that's probably why he wants to get out of here. He knows he's got a little game left in him. Like, those numbers I don't put too much into. Only 18 targets. Yeah. So it's not like those things were bouncing off his face and his chest and his back and his buttocks. But where does he fit with the Vikings? Wide receiver 3.
Yep. And that's where he fits. And, a veteran receiver like Odell Beckham Jr., I mean, you got to consider that an upgrade over Jalen Naylor, Brandon Powell, Trent Sherfield, everything else we have at wide receiver 3.
Nice to Trent.
Even at his age. And there's also the connection we can't ignore, him and KOC, Super Bowl year with the Rams, familiar with each other, familiar with the system. So it all makes sense from where you're looking at this roster as a potential upgrade and also just the history with KOC.
Well, yeah, I mean, the history with KOC, Justin Jefferson and him are very tight. Also, when Beckham did his workout back in 2023, the Vikings were one of the teams that actually went there and checked it out. So at one point, there was interest. Just because we're doing this video doesn't mean we want him to come there. But when you look at a team like the Vikings, who could definitely use an upgrade at wide receiver, I mean, shit, I was talking about how I wish we would have got KJ Osborne. If that's the issue, there's a wide receiver issue, and Odell Beckham still got a little left in the tank, and there's no doubt he could come here and do something.
Well, you keep saying he has something left in the tank, and that's the part I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I watched a bunch of recent Miami Dolphins games. I've seen the way he runs routes. I don't know if he's still got the speed. Has he still got the quick in and out of his breaks? Is he still shifty? Can he still catch the football? I don't know because I haven't watched him. He's 32 years old. He's been through some injuries. He's been through the ringer a little bit.
So let me rephrase that. He's got enough left in the tank to be a wide receiver 3 in the NFL. I am by no means think he is Odell Beckham of the past. Yeah. Wide receiver 1, same speed, same everything, but he can be a wide receiver 3, and somebody's gonna pick him up. I mean, Steelers, Chiefs. When you look at the teams that are most potentially linked to get him, back to the Ravens, even back to the Rams, like he's gonna be somewhere on Monday.
Are you any? I mean, I know he's had some character issues. You remember the back in the Giants when he kicked the field goal net or something. I mean, would you be concerned from him from a character standpoint coming here to Minnesota?
Nah, he's old now. He's been pretty quiet. I haven't seen anything as far as issues there. I think he's starting to realize like he can't be the diva. He's not that good. He can't live up to it anymore. Before he'd get away with it, he'd go there, beat up equipment, and be hilarious. Like I was never a big fan of his in the past, but I don't know. He seems pretty quiet now.
Another thing too, like I mean, is there that many more opportunities? I mean, Darnold loves feeding Jefferson, Addison. Hawkinson gets some scraps. I mean, he doesn't really target that wide receiver 3 a lot. Would that change with Beckham here, or is it just who Darnold is and who this offense is right now?
I don't know if it would change. I just know that if the targets that were going to Jalen Naylor at minimal went to him instead, I'd be just fine with it. I'd be just fine with that. And the other thing is, teams might just look to sign him just so other teams don't get him. I mean, and that's not a waiver claim by any means, but like some of these playoff teams aren't going to want Odell Beckham on their opposing offense.
Yeah, so let's get into, whether we want it or not to happen. And personally, I do think this would be an upgrade, having a veteran like Odell Beckham Jr. as your wide receiver 3, as you're making that push to the playoffs. I would actually like to see the Vikings make some kind of a roster move to make this group even better to compete, even harder in this grind to the playoffs and in the playoffs themselves.
Yeah, the only way I look at this is it does not hurt, and it's not going to cost anything. So by no way is this going to hurt. I don't think even if he comes in and doesn't see targets, he starts pissing and moaning or whatever. I think he knows his role if he comes here. Expectations will be set. So yeah, I'd love it. I love when greats come here, even if they're not great anymore. It's just great to see him in the Vikings jersey. And everybody knows how I feel about Jalen Nailor. I just don't want him on the field anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are starting to feel the same way about Mr. Nailor. Yeah, so I'd be for it. Will they actually do it though?
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be a Steeler.
I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Steeler, Chiefs, but Vikings are 11-2, and it could be very appealing. Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson. We will see. We will see come Monday where Mr. Beckham signs. Let us know in the comments. Do you want him here? Do you want nothing to do with him? I'm guessing a lot of the comments are going to just be like, no, cancer.
Oh my God, how would they say that? Don't forget promo code SKOL when you go to minigirl.com and order for your Christmas list. All the
just
needs.
Picked up a 4-pack of their wonderful cocktails at the local liquor store, so it's not just online. Check it out. They got the finder on their website.
Hell yes. And guys, remember this: 90% of people will fake laugh when they don't understand what someone said to them.